When you slid that little bump in there the other day, I about fell out of my chair.
It's not every day that I bust out a cluck.
I know. You were hanging over Mother, I think, when you did it.
I felt so bad. For the when Aunt Louise was talking about the tape for Christmas, because I was like joking around, but
What
I was
tape?
like, well, I brought the video.
Joking too.
I brought the video camera to the Christmas party, and I was carrying around the camera, and Aunt Louise was joking, and I was joking, but then, God, when you're funny in the moment, but then after the fact you can watch it again and you're like, oh my God, pounding this woman.
Oh.
It was funny.
She liked that.
Mm-hmm. I think she liked the attention.
Yeah.
And you weren't being rude or anything. You were trying to be funny and,
She
making
can
her
joke,
feel
too.
like the center of attention. So I think that's good.
Jason, there's very interesting history on Dad's side and Mom's side. And how her dad settled over in Roslyn. To start, they lived over there 17 years. You can go in the museum up there and you see a map, and there's her dad's name on the map, plat
I
map.
think that we've been up there.
You seen that?
We've been up there, but I don't know that I've looked at the plat
Maybe you
map.
didn't know that.
Right. I knew it was up there, but I didn't know it
It
was
shows on the map, Herman's.
It's interesting, and there are pictures of, boy, was he handsome. Wow.
That's when he
And
first
their
came
mother
from
was
Denmark.
beautiful.
First came there. And he came there because his sister and her husband were there.
How old was he when he came over from
20
Denmark?
22.
And what was the reason that he left Denmark?
Because there was more advantages to come to America.
Did he come here by himself, or did he have people to meet when he came over
Yeah,
here?
that's his sisters Marie and Uncle Abraham
Bill Abraham.
came from, Bill Abraham came from California, and they traveled by wagon. We're traveling up, and when they were on the eastern side of Oregon, before they crossed the river, they met some people, and they were going to go to the Okanagan. And these people said, well, why don't you go into Roslyn, but don't get into the mining, but go into the services. And so that's what they did. So instead of going up to the Okanagan, they went to Roslyn. And Dad worked with Bill, Uncle Bill, in they had a meat market, meats. It wasn't groceries, it was meats. And then later, my dad started the dairy, had a dairy, had milk and ice cream. Yeah. So that's what they did. Then when he left there, probably 1918, and I guess from what Aunt Agnes said, they lived in Kirkland for a while. And then they lived on McKinley Hill in Tacoma. And then they bought property out in Spanaway. I don't think they were anywhere else before that. But anyway, they went out to Spanaway, and then they purchased land from the Simon brothers, and the Simons had, what do they call it when they get a section of land? They homesteaded there early on. So anyway, they purchased this piece of property from the Simons brothers, and then they built that home in Spanaway.
store.
Well, the store was built by John's dad later. See, my dad, before I was born, though, that was when they had chickens. They raised chickens, and he sold eggs and sold chickens.
Well, he raised
But the
beef.
raised chick.
Did he raise beef too? Because there are all those cow skulls around.
Well,
That was after the store
And
was built
pigs.
then, wasn't Goodness.
a big barn
goodness,
in
so
back, but
beef without having a store.
they had chickens, a lot of chickens.
So where did he live when he met your mom? In Roslyn?
Roslyn.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah. But that's long before that my sisters, you know, Agnes and Elsie were born, but they were from another father. So I was later on, since I was born in 1923. So.
Wow.
January
So how many
13th.
how many siblings did you have?
Well, my sisters and then 2 brothers.
So 2 sisters, 2 brothers?
And Auntie Agnes was born in 1908,
Hmm.
firstborn, and then Mom was born in 1923,
Where's Elsie?
2 years after, I think. 2 years after.
1910 or so, Elsie.
So there's Agnes
But
and
I have
Elsie
those
that were
dates.
another father. And then Grandpa and Mother got together, and then
Well, her was
George,
born,
Yeah.
and Mom.
and George,
So you're the youngest out of all of them? You're the
Mhm.
baby.
Babe.
Baby.
that's another thing, say they call me babe, even my neighbors call me babe. Well, when I started school,
Hey, babe.
my sister Agnes called me Marguerite. So I'm in school, first grade, this long name, I thought, I can't, I don't want to write it it's too long, so I call myself Margaret. Then I find out on my birth certificate, it says Marie Anna Marguerite Margretha Hermanson. Marie.
You're like, I've been going by the wrong name all these years.
No, when I was later on, after I was married, I said to my dad, I've been signing all these papers with the name Margaret. So he went with me down to the courthouse and changed it legally because. So I'm telling you that if you ever see that birth certificate, which I have, it says Marie Anna Margretha, I think it is, because Marie was my dad's sister, Anna was his sister,
Yeah.
Margretha was his mother. Well, no, her name was,
Magdalena.
but it's Margaret, but her name is Margretha too, I think.
Huh.
Talk about confusing.
So just call
But
me
my
babe.
neighbors,
Right.
all the neighbors call me babe
How did that come about, do you think?
because I was a baby of the family.
But who
Oh.
started it?
Because I was a cutie, come
The
on.
kids,
Yeah.
well, the brothers and sisters,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and mom and dad. I was babe to everybody.
To whom were you butch?
Thea started that.
Oh, did she?
Thea.
That's our uncle.
And even
Jim's
at the
sister.
Mm.
even at the picnics, the
Recent picnic.
recent one. Here comes Thea. Hi, Butch.
My mom's freaking out, thinking, let's all gate them nowadays.
Nobody else knows what you're talking about.
Please.
Tell them why you were called that.
Well, because my dad had the butcher shop, the meat market. So they call it. That's Thea though.
Oh, my.
Good thing he wasn't a proctologist.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, asshole.
No.
Or what, I don't know. Yeah.
Oh gosh. Thea's so funny though. That was it last year or a year before she did that? She was at the picnic.
Just
Here she comes. She
year
sees
before
spots
that.
me.
So there was like 15 or 16
Yes.
years
Yeah, so-
gap between your oldest sibling and you, right?
15. Yeah.
So did you,
She was almost like a mom to me though, in a way. You know, when I was a little kid, I'd go to Seattle and stay with them. John Todd, well, her husband John, he was quite sickly, so he died quite young.
He got blood poisoning.
Oh, wow.
They didn't have
But
antibiotics.
he lived out at Fauntleroy.
really?
very nice out there, and of course it was like country, you know, you were just up from the beach.
Yeah.
They had outhouses too. They didn't have toilets.
I stayed there with him. Yeah, I remember John, I can't remember what he said to me. Not right now. I can't think of what it was, but we were eating dinner and he said something to, whether it was to do something or what it was that I can't remember now. And I went like this, slid off my chair under the table. Just stayed under there because I was so embarrassed or something.
Just by something he said.
Yeah. But I remember staying with him quite a bit. She was really nice to me.
Auntie Agnes?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember her?
She was very nice to me.
I don't think so. Probably if I saw a picture it would help, but I don't.
Oh, yeah, she was
How old was I when she passed?
Very easy.
3, 4.
No, because she just died
No.
10 years ago.
But she was pretty, he was pretty little when she was at the house.
I'm thinking
one time.
Elsie.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, she was,
Yeah.
Okay.
she died quite a bit earlier than Auntie Agnes.
Agnes, her picture is on your mantle at Grandma's house, right? Next to the kitchen table.
You mean the
Small.
hutch?
Yeah, small frame near the top.
No, that's
Right.
Elise, I think.
It's one of Dad's sisters.
Would anyone
Oh,
like some
Her
dessert?
picture's on a mug.
Okay.
Auntie
Oh,
Agnes's
okay.
picture's on that
Like some
coffee
dessert
mug.
for everyone.
Yeah.
She was just great. Boy, Mom had two
Yeah.
really neat sisters. They were really something
I didn't know
different.
Elsie that well, though, because they were,
You knew
Elsie
Elsie.
left.
We went to her apartment,
She was,
the one
you
that
know,
had the,
during the time I was growing up, she wasn't home.
snow swan.
Well, neither was A. I mean, I went to stay with A, you know.
She had so much dust on the back of her couch.
But
Bird,
Elsie,
Christmas decoration on the back.
I really didn't know her that
Well,
well.
I remember the story of her favorite seat on the couch was like on a hole or something.
Well,
No.
that's, no, it was a hole because that's where she
She
sat.
wasn't around.
It wasn't a hole, it was just a big indent like, psycho bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she had a good heart.
Yeah.
And she didn't have any gray hair in her head.
No,
That
and she had
was
beautiful
Dino.
skin.
Very beautiful.
But she never went out.
Boy.
No sunshine, yeah.
So did you do a lot of moving around with your siblings, or were you kind of born and raised in one area?
Ran away.
And then, because other stories, Maryland, when did you start moving?
Well,
What was the reason why you moved to Maryland in the first place?
Because Grandpa transferred to work at the Laurel Labs in Maryland. Laurel.
In the military, or after, before?
and
Government.
better communication.
Mhm. And then he was gonna take a transfer down to Louisiana. Well, I think he put in for, I don't know.
Shreveport.
Yeah, oh, that was from, no.
That was, before.
No, or New Orleans. It was New Orleans. No, I'm talking about this time, when we were back east. He was gonna go to, let's see. Went to Laurel Labs, then he was gonna transfer to New Orleans. Cause I was thinking, oh, that's kind of interesting. And then they changed it to go back to, no, then they said they had an opening in Washington DC. That's how that worked.
In DC.
Oh, I know, when we first moved from Parkland, no, well, that was the other time, Shreveport. No, see, then he got the job in Seattle office. Wasn't Shreveport with Philco Corp? Yeah. See, that's why I have to get the stuff in my head, because
He moved around a lot.
so
Dad-
many things were,
Yeah.
No, but when he went in with FCC, that was Laurel Labs. Then he said one day, well, he's gonna put in for New Orleans. And then they told him there's an opening in Washington DC. So that's when he went to Washington DC.
Yeah, but Mom, wasn't that a different thing though? In DC, he did a different thing than Labs.
Oh, yeah. He
What
was
was his-
head of the certification. What was the title of that?
Chief of Investigation
Investigation and certification.
for all
For
the
the,
field branch offices in the United States, right?
uh-huh.
It's just a little title.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Little job.
Oh, yeah.
And I said to him when we were looking at that on the board, when you come in there, you know.
And
there's
where,
this-
in the building?
Yeah, and there's the title, you know, and his name, and I said, yeah, take a picture of that. He said, no, just remember it. He said, just remember it.
That's cool.
He wanted to be a commissioner for a while. He was talking about that.
Almost had to be an attorney, I think he
Right.
did that, I
Right.
think.
He would have had to get a,
But I think there might have been a
Likely.
consideration, but, I think, yeah,
So you went to college, right?
2 years.
When was
Pacific Lutheran,
it before Grandpa or?
after. And he didn't start till he was 35.
He's a late starter, late bloomer.
Okay, I don't feel so bad now.
but
Yeah.
he went on GI Bill.
Yeah,
Teenagers when you went to the university. Were we in high school?
yeah, because Sandy, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Remember coming home one night or late afternoon and Mom had taken a statistics test, was it, or
I
psychology?
hated statistics.
And Mom was crying.
I
Because you were
was?
so upset about this test you'd taken. Yeah.
Oh,
You were
yeah, I
really
thought I did,
upset.
well, one, I thought I'd done better than I did, that's true. I thought, gee, I'm gonna do, isn't that great?
The test was just a little too easy
That's
to
because
take.
she is a compulsive perfectionist like the rest of our family. And, you know, it's gotta be A.
Well, I
Class.
never,
Yeah, you're pretty close.
Did Dad have top secret clearance when he was with FCC? You know how you went top secret security clearance for so many years?
well, I don't know about that job.
No, but as a Philco Tech rep, or when did he?
Even
he
radar
had a
he did.
lot.
Well, he did in service, yeah.
And with working as a Philco Tech rep too.
And even when he was inspecting
Yeah,
ships.
yeah. Well, they checked him. Wait a minute. You know, I'm trying to think. When he was going to go with Philco,
It's checked by the FBI.
we had people coming and asking, Grandma said she had people coming to question her.
Her little Norwegian grandma.
Well,
with
these
Norwegian
kids
accent.
cut his, he was laying on it, I think he was kind of awake, but when you trimmed his mustache,
You know, they cut half of it
Yes.
off.
What happened?
well, then he,
Cut half of his mustache off. Like,
the kids, then, and he was going on this job, so of course, he cut his mustache, so his picture shows him with mustache, worn it for years. Well, they really checked him out. He said in Japan, they had people checking him out, you know, they say he's after work or going to and had a cocktail or something. Somebody'd come in and start talking to you, and you know, he said, boy, that change in him, he really got checked out, because they weren't sure it was the same guy.
right.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah.
Check him out.
I
in
remember
what
that.
respect?
Because he looked different,
To see if it was him.
because he had a mustache, I mean, that changed his appearance quite a
And
bit.
it was a photo with his security clearance deal. And so on his photo with the security
Jesus.
clearance, he had a mustache. We kids cut it off one night
Right
while he was
before he
sleeping.
Well, I mean, I understand that, but like when they would come check him out.
Oh, they check too, check the background, just
Yeah.
check, yeah. And
Tell
a
what
lot of
Grandma
people
said.
were questioned. What was it? I forget what she said.
You started to tell him. Those men came to my door again.
Yeah, more than once.
They come
Yes.
asking questions and they'd go to the neighbors and ask about Harold.
Just
Because
because of the mustache?
No.
No.
Or
No.
were they asking the neighbors to make sure that he wasn't talking about stuff that he shouldn't
That was
have
for security
Well,
clearance.
Security clearance.
Oh.
And what kind of character?
before he even got the clearance?
Probably.
And all along.
Mm.
No, it was after he was gone.
To Japan. And we didn't know what he was doing there.
Uh-uh.
It was during the Korean War.
Still don't?
I think it was with radar.
Well,
Working
it
with
was
radar, I
with,
don't know. You know? Can you tell?
he never talked much about what he did. It was communications, but that I know.
Codes, probably.
Poles.
Intercepting messages.
No, they were doing putting up poles or whatever I don't know what they did there.
All I know is when he would go down with Philco, he was a tech rep. with
Yeah,
the
that
Air
was an
Force.
important job.
Strategic
Yeah.
Air Command.
They were between the civilian, they worked between civilian and military, that's what
Oh,
they
like
were.
the liaison
Yeah.
between the two?
In between, exactly.
So he'd go down to California all the time.
Well,
He'd be
he
gone
was,
all week.
he was down at what, Point
Point Arena.
Arena for a while.
So a few years ago, I was down there on an assignment working in Victorville, California. I thought, I'm going down to Point Arena because it wasn't too far, down by the ocean. Met a woman at the lighthouse whose husband had worked at Point Arena.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's pretty. And I
Wow.
asked her, I said, her husband worked with the Air Force too, and I said, well, my dad was a tech rep for Philco, and he worked with the Air Force at Point Arena at some radar
Beautiful
installation. I don't know anything more about it. She said, I'll tell you where that is. And I used to take them up from Point Arena, this little tiny town. They'd put them on a bus type thing and take them up to this radar installation way up on the top of a hill, over way up in the woods. And she said it was all dirt and mud roads. And when I went up there in my car, it was just hairpin turn after hairpin turn, steep. At least the road was paved. And I saw it. It was this huge big dome and this huge array of wires and satellite dishes and all this stuff up there. It was radar. Enormous. Then I had to come back down to Point Arena from there. I had to stop the car by the side of the road 4 times because my brakes were burning up.
Man.
And my transmission was just
That's
hot.
when you have to come down in to drive to the one.
I had a stick,
Oh,
and my brakes were burning up. And you know, I'm used to mountain driving, and I kept saying to myself, I will never come up here again. And Dad used to go up there in the early 50s on this bus because it was so secret. I think it was.
I never knew about, we were thinking about I was going to be going down there, but we didn't. Because he wasn't there that long, I don't think. He was at Othello before that.
Doing what?
Same, Philco, tech rep. Could have worked at McCord, that's what he was hoping for, being close to home, but,
Oh, McCord.
Don't need to get rid of these boxes here.
yeah.
So
Yeah?
maybe she would have been about 4 or 3. And we were at church one day, and these old biddies at church, they're pretty old now, some of them at that church, came up, where's your daddy? My daddy's in Philadelphia in jail.
In jail?
Yes!
Wherever she got that, I don't know.
Philadelphia.
Now, wasn't there a time when Kathy...
I don't know where she got the jail part.
Boy, don't you know those biddies got a hold of that and
No,
said,
yeah.
do you want to know about Harold Galston? Harold.
Harold?
Harald, that's his name, Harald, Norwegian.
Didn't Aunt Kathy pick up a really frosty white turd and put it in her mouth or something like that when she was a little kid?
Divinity.
We told her, Kathy. We said, Kathy, see that?
Oh, poor
We
little
told her it was Christmas candy.
Christmas
She picked it up.
Yes. Oh, that's awful.
She started crying after she knew what she did.
I think she did.
Okay. Oh.
But Connie used to eat dirt.
Mm. I always went for a good mud puddle.
Yeah, she did. She really did.
That's pretty nasty.
Oh, gee.
She'd get down on her knees and
You
drink
had
out of
something lacking, Connie.
Now, didn't you also like to chew on road tar
Mm-hmm.
or hamburger?
That was her.
You used to like to chew
raw.
raw hamburger?
Nasty.
Yeah, you go in the refrigerator and, boy, you might have E. coli now if you did that.
Especially if it was mixed for meatloaf with raw eggs and raw onions.
Bacteria surprise.
Mm.
Back then, I think it was a little different.
Get mad sandy disease.
Yeah. Here's that little robin.
You'd get both, salmonella and the other.
Look at this thing. It's like kicking out the stuff. It's funny watching it. There we go. Oh. Did they do?
It's like watching Jaws 3. Kind of limited your occupations, didn't it? It's really hard for me to...
Act rich.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Eric.
Eric, what are you doing here?
I changed my work schedule so I can make sure that Mitch keeps his tiny little doll hands to himself.
Eric, Mitch is not a threat to you.
Welcome to the Holiday Hotel Ballroom. I'll be your waiter this evening. But unlike a normal waiter, I despise and may try to destroy you. Waiter, I'm rich. And as a rich man, I have much more money than you.
What are you gonna do now? What are you doing?
Yeah, well, your bow tie is starting to unclip that guy. Unbelievable. They come to this country, we give them a job. They're so ungrateful.
I'm Christy. And you are?
Ferrari. There's Ferrari.
No. That's where it stops. She's like, forget about it.
By the way, did you ever read that book I gave you by Dr. Spock?
No, I kind of lost interest when I realized it wasn't about Star Trek.
Well, You signed us up for this class, and that was very thoughtful.
Oh, that's me, Mr. Thoughtful. Hey,
See my arm?
how many kids are you having?
Ew.
Well, hi, Michael. Hope you're ready to talk boo-boos, burps, and binkies.
Yeah. Brooke, this is Miss Foreman, the lady that told me I shouldn't take you horseback riding. And Miss Foreman, this is Brooke, the librarian I friended.
Well, I am so happy you two are here, and you should be happy because you have me as your tour guide as you make the transition to parenthood. Michael.
But that could have been anybody. Everybody knows I rule.
Okay, alright, okay, let's get started. Now, when you first bring your little bundles of joy home, they will spend almost 20 hours a day sleeping and pooping.
That's the life, huh?
Now, who can tell me what they will do with the rest of their cute little time? Yes, Brooke. They'll be eating. Very good. And what will they be eating?
You want some more water?
If you're not looking, I'm gonna sneak the little guys some
You want some
popcorn.
more water?
Michael, they just can't eat popcorn. They don't even have teeth.
My grandma Bessie doesn't have any teeth, and trust me, she ain't shy around a bucket of popcorn.
Just what I needed.
Come on, Marley.
Christy says money's great, but she wants to get to know the real me. And I really care about her, so what's another fake good quality I could pretend to have to trick her into the sack?
Maybe I would put her down on the ground.
Okay, well, she's
Let her
great
walk
for-
around.
Which means she must love
Okay.
animals.
Let her hack a little bit. And
Which means she
Do
must
whatever
like
you gotta
sensitive
do.
guys.
Oops. Who's that, Papa? Who's that? Look, 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 look.
must be fascinating.
Where's that? Where's that? Where's that fish? Where's that fish?
I'm chewing.
That was so cute.
Okay. Marley. No.
Get the kitty.
What? Oh, now she. I kill you. Huh?
Oh. Daddy?
Yeah, multiple things to chew on, see?
Yeah, including Mom.
Yep.
You little nerd. I'm hiding my feet from you because you're a little shark. Little shark.
Almost puke.
I know, she stopped herself though. That was good. That was good. Get in your butt. Get in your butt. Marley!
I was really blessed to have wonderful parents. My mother was from Alaska, left a difficult situation. Ended up in Marley Park projects. She worked as a waitress, went to beauty school, and worked her way out of the projects. She never shied away from hard work. My father was a Seattle public school teacher. My dad taught me patience. My folks couldn't afford to pay for me to go to college, so I decided to work waxing floors at the Space Needle to make it through school. That experience taught me that hard work pays off. Paid for by Rossi for governor, GOP. This year's KFS, we're taking cash back for the whole new level.
Yeah, good girl. Good girl. She's the best dog.
Model year-end clearance. You can get the best deals of the year on the Sedona. It's TFS Puget Sound. Hurry in now.
Oh, okay.
You owe me dinner. Say half an hour?
From the nickels of Notting Hill and 4 weddings and a funeral.
What's wrong with you? Are you scared of me, girl?
It's one of the year's best romantic comedies. Wimbledon is delightful.
Good girl.
Hot and Ducks are a perfect match.
You're exceeding my expectations.
But true. Wimbledon with DVD at theaters Friday.
It's time for the Jeep model year-end clearance. Soon, the last of the 2004 vehicles will be gone, but right now, the best selection is waiting for you. Choose between the rock-solid Jeep Wrangler, the ever-capable Jeep Liberty, and the luxurious Jeep Grand Cherokee. Plus, get our 770 powertrain limited warranty. Get the best selection on all Fords before September 30th during the Jeep model year-end clearance. Right now, get up to $1,500.
Getting a little dizzy there, aren't you?
Combined cash allowance of up to $5,000 on select 2004 Jeep vehicles.
Good girl.
Jeep dealer today.
Good girl, Marley.
Avocado pure infusion, $72. Just extra pedicure
girl.
folks on shopping hours. You guys save like a fortune on this stuff. Save on red or green seedless grapes, 79 cents a pound. Fresh boneless skinless chicken breast, $2.99 a pound. And good day gallon, 2 for $5. All with
Little shark jaws.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Albertsons, helping make your life.
Hi, Marley. Hi, Marley babies.
Huh?
What? 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 What, Marley? Marley. What you doing? What you doing?
Ooh, what about this? For some reason, Marley loves this black dish. She chewed the crap out of it, but sometimes it also kind of freaks her out.
You'll feel so carefree underneath it all. Because every
Chewing
day,
it.
underneath it all, you're wearing Carefree.
Pick it up and carry it around. Remember how you did that?
Anti-liner available. They're the perfect choice for light protection. Feel fresh with Carefree Perfect Fit. I know in orientation we talked about theft in the workplace, so I would like to report a theft from my check. Now I don't know whose fight that is, but that bitch stole like 10% of my money. Also, now I don't know if you have this key in your typewriter, but when I write Jackie, I like to dot my I with a smiley face. Also, now I put this in the suggestion box, but you have something hanging from your nose. And I want Saturday off. Thank you. Bye.
Marley is not happy.
Nope, she's shaking.
Taking her first bath.
under the tummy, under. Good girl, Marley. Good girl. Good girl, Marley. Good girl. Good girl, baby. Yeah. Yeah. Girl. Good girl. Quick and painless. Quick and painless. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, Marley. Stay. Stay, stay, stay. Stay, Marley. It's okay. It's okay. No, stay. Marley, stay. I'm not gonna... Marley, stay. It's okay.
Dad, you're just sitting there filming me. Not doing a damn thing to help me out. Look at how sorry she looks. I'm so miserable.
It's okay. It's okay. She's gonna be mad when she gets out. It's okay. Marley, it's okay. That's all she wrote. That's it. That's it.
She had so much fun, she just puked all over herself.
It's okay, honey. Don't eat it. Sweet, can you give me another towel?
What?
Oh, please.
I'm just like, huh?
Oh, what a pretty picture.
She's not happy. She's been traumatized.
She had. She's still whimpering. Poor sweetie. That's a scary experience. Next one won't be so bad, I promise.
Hi, Marley. Oh.
Sweet little sausage. She's shivering, poor little baby.
I'm not happy right now.
Come here. Dance to the music. Dance to the music. Punch yourself. Punch. Oh, oh, oh. Don't hit yourself. It's not worth it. Oh, eat your own feet. Billy, Billy, Billy. Billy, Billy, Billy. Smelly belly. Belly, belly, belly. Clap, clap, clap your hands. Clap, clap, clap your hands. Eat your paws. Eat your paws. Eat your paws.
Today's makeovers possible.
For diabetics, sugary foods like cookies, cake, and candy used to be off limits. Not anymore. King 5's Gene Anderson tells us what's on the menu now, and get ready for some surprises.
That is wonderful. Nancy Del Prado is about to break one of the oldest rules of a diabetic diet. And she's doing it with the help of a registered dietitian, Karen Chalmers and Amy Peterson.
When people have diabetes, their first focus is always sugar, thinking that they have to avoid it.
But the focus should be on all carbohydrates, from candy to potatoes to bread. It's wonderful. It's so good. Nancy is allowed 60 grams of carbs at dinner. So when she has apple pie for dessert, 45 grams. Karen and Amy suggest she eat only one slice of bread at 20 grams.
You can eat any food you want in proportion as long as you stay within your guidelines of the carbs.
Another common myth is that diabetics can eat as many sugar-free foods as they want. But the word sugar-free can be misleading. This ice cream bar sweetened with NutraSweet has 13 grams of carbohydrate. the same amount as this regular ice cream bar.
If a food has carbohydrate listed on the label, then it's going to affect your blood sugar. If it says 0 on the label, like a can of diet soda, then it will not affect your blood sugar.
Karen and Amy say the old...
Good girl. Okay.
She's like, I ain't done with that, boy.
I'm not done with this game. Now what?
I'm not done with this yet. I'm gonna get this sock if it kills me.
Putting a terror interior.
It may only be 4 months old, but I'm gonna kick its ass.
Exactly. I love the growl and the bark.
Good girl. Freak. Big little butt tail. Oh no, there's two. What do you do now?
She's gonna bite both of them. How snorty can one dog be? She's a bully. She's a bulldog bully. Look at that stance. Marley. Marley. What are you doing to your dad?
Good girl.
Next at 6:30, presumed dead in this Montana crash, but he's alive and in Seattle. King 5 with an amazing story of survival.
Gunmen storm a Bellevue bank. Next, surveillance cameras take you inside a violent robbery.
And a notorious con artist deported. So how did he make it back to Western Washington and...
First pig's ear.
Though that was the original preference of some. And didn't even know about being over budget?
Marley is sprawled out.
Now, the really big question is the Procter & Gamble. You like their campaign a little bit more than their campaign, but not that much more. So, your choice.
Ladies, at the end
Cutie.
of the day, when they close the books, I would have voted for you. But unfortunately, you were over budget. And so, therefore, I would have to go with Mosaic.
What are you guys cheering for? We're cheering for the record!
You got a nice bite out of that one, didn't you? The dog loves pears. Can't get enough of the pears.
Yeah.
Nibbles at carrots, kind of. The pears, she goes crazy for. Okay, let's get another angle of the dangle for you.
This is one of the largest houses we've ever built, with people who've never built a house before, with lots and lots of volunteer help that just kind of showed up and said, give me a hammer. Everybody and their mother and their friends and their neighbor's neighbor and their neighbor's neighbor's dog and the cat next door, everybody's pitching in. Hey, what do you normally do? What's your job usually? High school math teacher. High school math teacher. It's awesome. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
This is what we get to deal with while we sleep at night. She snores even when she's not sleeping. Marley's first time in her little pajamas. Let's see how she likes it.
Call Marley.
Marley!
Good girl.
Marley!
You had to get it all over me, didn't you?
Do you like it?
Come here, baby. Come here. Come here, Marley. Yeah! Good girl.
Come on, Marley.
Marley, go see Daddy.
Come on.
Marley! You're great. Look at her.
I like how they sag in the butt.
Oh, that was a close call. Yay! Look how cute you are.
Huh?
Oh, we need to get a picture of her. A picture in her baby pajamas. Girl. Ah, no bite. No bite. Continue with what you were doing.
Huh?
Little show dog. Little show dog. Playing in my pajamas. Playing in my pajamas. Good girl. Nah. This. Rah. 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 Woof, woof, woof.
Jeez. Nice.
She's an aggressive little thing. She's just riled up.
Marley. Marley. Dun 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 dun.
What are you looking at? Huh? What are you looking at? Mm-hmm. Marley.
Don't you want any food?
I think she's hungry.
Go with it.
She's like, is that it? Like, you suck. Excuse me. Oh, you okay, Marley Boo Boo?
Yucky.
Did you get some of it at least?
I got some of the, yeah, and the puke.
Oh, Pumpkin, I'm sorry. It's okay, look, it's just a mirror. It's okay.
Oh, she's in her puke now. I'm gonna lay in my puke.
Oh, nasty. I'll begin again when I've cleaned up the area. Yeah, don't forget that part. I'm gonna lay you down and I feel the puke.
Fun with mirrors.
Okay, Marley. Maybe I shouldn't do that anymore. I think I'm upsetting our dog.
It's doggy abuse.
Totally. I'm sorry, baby girl. It was funny at first, but not the last.
No, it wasn't, Mom.
You suck.